Hello, BookTube. As usual, or it has become usual, there was a Ninja mail delivery here very late on Saturday night. It's a different driver on the weekends than the one I have during the week. I know the driver during the week. I've talked to him for years. He comes at a certain time. He comes at that time only. He has a route. He does his route. The Saturday driver is always different and often not the same from week to week, so I never know if there's going to be a package. But usually nowadays there is one on the stoop late at night. And that happened this time around. It's a box. One huge box that I have a feeling has only one thing in it. I think I know what this is. I think this is an absolutely enormous finished copy. Just one book in this box. But I could be wrong. Maybe it's more than that. Let's take a look and see. Nope. Oh, no, it is more than that. It is two. Fantastic. Oh, fantastic. All right, these are both from W.W. Norton, my favorite non-Penguin publisher. And they are both new in hardcover. They're out already. You can go to your bookstore and get them. They're not cheap, but they're both worth it. I've read both of them, but I'm so happy to have finished copies here. We have, first of all, Richard Zenith's biography of Fernando Pessoa in this huge thing. Very colorful, obviously trying to be the definitive biography of this great writer in English. Obviously trying to do that, and I would say succeeding. Doesn't have much in the way of competition. Let's see what we have here. Nearly a century after his death, the Portuguese poet Fernando Pessoa remains one of the most enigmatic writers. Believing he could do more in dreams than Napoleon, yet haunted all his life by the specter of hereditary madness, he invented dozens of alter egos, under whose names he wrote in Portuguese, English, and French. Unsurprisingly, this most multifarious of writers, that's according to The Guardian, has long eluded a definitive biographer. But in a renowned translator and Pessoa scholar, Richard Zenith, he has finally met his match. Well, there's a lot of Pessoa writing to go through. Relatively unknown in his own lifetime, Pessoa was all but destined for literary oblivion when the arc of his afterlife bent, suddenly and improbably, towards greatness, with the discovery of some 25,000 unpublished papers left in a large wooden trunk. Drawing on this vast archive of sources, as well as on unpublished family letters and skillfully setting the poet's life against the nationalist currents of the 20th century European history, Zenith at last reveals the true depths of this author's teeming imagination and literary genius. I read an advanced copy of this and loved it. Absolutely loved it. I can't help but think it's going to be one of the great biographies of the year. And I strongly recommend it. It's not cheap. It's $40, but your library will have it. If your library doesn't order the definitive biography of this author in English that's been written, then you should get on them about it. See that they do. So that was one of the two books in this box from the wonderful people at Norton. And the other one, this is also out. This is also available. This is the annotated Mrs. Dalloway, annotated by Merv Emery, in these oversized annotated versions that Norton does. Merv Emery is an associate professor of English at the University of Oxford and author of several books, including The Personality Brokers, which was about the Myers-Briggs test. And this is exactly what it says. This is Mrs. Dalloway annotated. So it's the standard annotation model. You'll get artwork, you'll get the text, and you'll get notes all along the side, both explaining and actually annotating. Actual annotation is when the author has mentioned something that the general reader is not going to know. They has no idea. The general reader isn't going to know what a phaeton is. So they're going to need the annotator to tell them what it is. There's that, plus there's literary criticism, explanation, expansion of text, maybe measuring them against original drafts, that sort of thing. And there'll be a lot of that in here as well, because Mrs. Dalloway, you can read it perfectly well without any annotation whatsoever. You don't even need an introduction. It's a daunting work. It's brilliant, but it doesn't require annotation. It doesn't mean that I'm not happy to see this volume. I am very much so. Again, I read an advance copy, but boy, there's nothing that beats a handheld printed copy of an annotated version of something. Those EPUB and MOBI and PDF really don't measure up. They should be better at that than printed books by a wide mile. They should be terrific at that, but they're not. They're usually really bad. So very nice to have this. I have a whole bunch of annotated editions here. I'll gladly add this to the list. And as is, for me, the foremost attraction of annotated editions, it'll be a perfect opportunity to just reread the book. I have to go through it anyway, right? In order to piece together the book with the annotations and the introduction and the afterword and whatnot. It's a perfect opportunity, a perfect invitation to reread the book. And in Mrs. Dalloway's case, that's a lot less wasted time than if somebody were to come out with a new annotated Sherlock Holmes or a new annotated Dracula, where there's no call for me to be rereading stuff like that in a busy publishing year. So anyway, there are the books for a Ninja Sunday mail delivery. 2 winners: the annotated Mrs. Dalloway and the big new biography of Pessoa. Great, fantastic. Ordinarily, Ninja mail deliveries are a little on the dodgy side, but these 2 are great. These 2 are keepers. So there you go. A little bit of Sunday mail for you. So I'm going to wrap this up, but I will see you soon. Thank you, BookTube.